Good Tuesday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson. Let's go in and talk about the weather for your Tuesday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we are going to talk about tonight. But first, before we get into that, if you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. We are at right now 6 people are watching, and only 3 likes right now. So go on and hit the like button. It's free. You can change your mind at any time. And also the subscribe button if you are new and you have never hit the subscribe button before. Go on and do so. We're at 515 trying to get to that main goal, or 615 trying to get to that main goal of 700. That, and then also share. Share with all the people that you know, friends, family, any sort of acquaintances that you have, co-workers. Doesn't matter. Send it to somebody who has not subscribed yet, or just somebody who doesn't know about the channel in general, and make sure that they go and hit the subscribe button. Now, what are we going to be talking about tonight? Obviously, we will be talking about our current weather, what's currently going on. We also will talk about our weather for tonight. We'll talk about the weather for tomorrow and just our short-term future. We'll also talk about the long-term future, the tropics, and we'll talk about how we're going to have some warming temperatures on the way back. Talk about that, mostly dry conditions, and then for the most part, a stable to a progressive pattern. And so that's pretty much what we're going to talk about. So let's go on and start off with what is currently going on, as we always do. Currently, there is nothing going on throughout the entire state of South Carolina right now, so we are good in terms of activity. What about our rainfall for the entire U.S.? We do have some rainfall right now ongoing inside of portions of the Ohio Valley going on over into the mid-Atlantic. We also do have some rainfall slash snowfall activity in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and then out here in the west, you can see, I mean, for the most part, it's not covering up the majority of the west, but it definitely is covering a good amount of the west as we have rainfall going on from the Four Corners area down up into Montana, over into Idaho, and Washington State. It might not be the heaviest, but it definitely is raining. Now, if we go on and talk about our cloud cover for right now, we do in fact have some cloud cover in the PD, cloud cover inside the Grand Strand, the upstate, and even the Midlands, low country, cloud cover down there, but for the most part, not too bad. Even if we continue this further into the future, cloud cover seems prominent even as we go into tomorrow morning. Cloud cover still seems kind of prominent. Even as we go into tomorrow evening as well for our Wednesday evening, going into our Thursday morning, cloud cover seems like it could definitely still be a thing there. Same thing as we go into Thursday evening. So it looks like we're still going to have a cloudy next couple of days, though, even though some clear spots definitely are in the forecast. For the most part, mostly cloudy will prevail. Current temperatures right now, 49 in Columbia, as well as 52 in Orangeburg, 52 in Somerville, and even around 54 in Georgetown, 52 in Sumter, and even around 51 in Hartsville, 52 in Florence, and 50 in Conway, 59 in Myrtle Beach, and 58 in Murray's Inlet, 57 in North Myrtle Beach, as well as 54 inside of Georgetown. We even do have around 59 inside of Beaufort, 54 also inside of Aiken, and even around 52 in Greenwood, 54 inside of Greenville, 55 in Spartanburg, 51 inside of Gaffney, York, and Rock Hill. Now for our low temperatures for tonight. We're around 50 in Greenville, 49 inside of Spartanburg, and even around 48 inside of Rock Hill, 51 in Columbia, 49 in Camden, 51 also inside of Sumter in Orangeburg, 51 in Walterboro, 52 in Moncks Corner, and 48 in Kingstree, 51 in Aiken, even around Georgetown, 54 in Myrtle Beach, and even around 58 in Charleston, 59 inside of Hilton Head Island. Now, what about our high temperatures for tomorrow? This is for Wednesday. High temperatures today. Tomorrow will be around 78 in Greenville, 76 inside of Spartanburg, and even around 76 in Rock Hill, 79 in Columbia, and 80 in Orangeburg, 79 inside of Walterboro, and 80 in Barnwell, 76 in Charleston, and 79 in Moncks Corner, 76 in Georgetown, even around 74 in Myrtle Beach, 77 in Florence, and 76 in Cheraw and Dillon. Rainfall as we move through the next 24 hours, for the most part, no rainfall is expected. And now when I say rainfall, obviously, I do in fact mean accumulable precipitation. So when I say accumulable precipitation, rainfall that actually can accumulate, not just rainfall that's going to barely do anything and not really going to accumulate much. And so as we go from now all the way until around 7 o'clock p.m. tomorrow, no accumulable precipitation is really expected as we move throughout that time period. The crazy score for tonight, we are at a 10. We are at a 10 for tonight. Why? Well, dry conditions, chilly temperatures will still be there, clear with patchy fog, especially near bodies of water by daybreak, and a stable atmosphere for the most part. For the most part, a stable atmosphere as a high pressure overhead promotes radiational cooling. Zonal flow aloft ensures that quiet and dry weather. So we were talking about that zonal flow yesterday. If you go back into yesterday evening's video, we talked about the patterns and how we had zonal flow going on throughout the state. SPC outlook as we move throughout tonight. Now, this morning there was not a thunderstorm risk, but they did actually bring it more down to the south. And they say that even though, the convection might not be there, the ingredients definitely are there. Thunderstorm activity definitely possible as we go throughout the far upstate. Now, for tomorrow and for Thursday, no thunderstorms are expected. Excessive rainfall, we are good there as well. No excessive rainfall for us. Now, let's go in and check out the models. We're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. and you just go in and push this forward all the way throughout the nighttime hours. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, nice and dry still, not seeing too much. You are seeing some rainfall around the state for sure. For sure, you're seeing some rainfall around the state. And so finally, remember what I said earlier. Rainfall for tomorrow may just be non-accumulable precipitation. If I go to the new one, they actually, I'll check that out in just a second. But as we go on and continue, this is around 6 a.m. going around 7 a.m., you see rainfall going into like the western parts of South Carolina. But again, they're just like little drizzles. It's not really going to do anything. Even as you go to around 6 to 7 p.m., you can see here that's finally when we start to see some of that rainfall and move through. And remember, it ends at 7 o'clock p.m. So this right here actually shows the rainfall with the potential for some accumulation to occur as we get into just after that time frame. And so that is why there's nothing on that map for right now. Now, that's just what the models say. Models obviously are not 100% correct. And so I'm definitely not saying, so nothing's going to happen. I mean, this is 6 o'clock p.m. all the way to 7 o'clock p.m. That is still very close in time, and obviously these models go into hour increments. They're not going to cover every minute of every day, and so you just got to continue to wait and see what happens. We'll see what happens tomorrow morning for sure, but a lot of that rainfall is really, if it does occur, if we do get any accumulable precipitation, it will be up there in the upstate to maybe the PD area, and maybe the southern Midland to the low country. I'm not really seeing too much there though, but you can see that pushes its way through the state, going to all the way to around 3 o'clock in the morning. And then you continue that forward even more. We remain dry all the way throughout the 20th into Thursday. So a lot of uncertainties, but tomorrow morning we definitely will know a lot more. So now let's go on and talk about our long-term future. We're going to start off here at the 54-hour mark. We're going to push this forward, and we still see some rainfall all the way through the 22nd through the 23rd. And then we'll have our little cold front right here that tries to pass through. You can see easily if we go in and look at the dew points. Cold air, not cold air, but dry air and probably cold air moves through as we get through the 22nd into the 23rd. Even if you go into the anomalies as well, warm air, even though it's going to be above average for sure. I mean, right here, you can see this is the 22nd before the cold front moves through. We right now, at that time frame, would be around 8 to around 12 to 15 degrees above average. Then when the cold front moves through, you see we drop all the way down to like the 2 to 4 degrees above average. So it definitely does drop. And just to show you even more, look at these temperatures. We in the 80s one day, and then the next day, high temperatures only into like the 70s. And so it's going to drop around like a good 10 degrees or so. Now, it still will be a little bit warm, but tomorrow for sure, I mean, with high temperatures in around like the 80s, we're getting back to those 80-degree temperatures as we get into tomorrow. And somebody will see 80 degrees. Somebody will see 80 degrees tomorrow. But we continue all the way back over into the models again. As that cold front moves its way through the 23rd, high pressure takes over. We have another little system here that tries to go through around like the 26th, going to the 27th. Is that a cold front? For the most part, it looks like that it definitely will be bringing in something behind it, not right when it passes, because it will pass on around like the 26th or so. But then the cold front actually won't try to make its way through until you get to around like the 27th and the 28th. And so, kind of like a day behind almost at that point. But that's 200 hours out, so things will change. But cold air definitely tries to move through. And then there's another one right behind it on December the 1st as another cold front passes right through again. And then look at this, another one on December the 4th. And so it's just this train of cold fronts that's going through as we go all the way into the end of November into December. 378 hours out, so remember that things will change, things will refine. One of these cold fronts could be gone tomorrow, it's possible, but it shows our pattern as we go into the future that cold fronts definitely are going to be sticking with us for a good little bit. So we already showed this one, the first one that we had, which will pop through in like the next like 4 days or so. Then you have this one on the 25th, around close to 10 days out, or 27th, honestly, somewhere around there. Let me go over into the actual anomalies themselves. There goes the cold air behind it on the 28th to the 29th, the 30th, and then warm air comes by. But then as soon as you're like, okay, we're getting back into some warm air, cold air comes right back on the 2nd. And then, okay, warm air is coming back. No, not necessarily, as we continue to see more cold air coming through right behind it. Even as you go into the actual temperatures themselves, go through the 24th, 25th, you see that cold front moves through, and then you see another one moves through. And at that point, we're going to definitely see some more freezing temperatures as we go into that last day of November, going into early December. I mean, we're seeing 30s and low 30s, high 20s going all throughout the state as we go into like that last day of November there. And then there will be another one behind it, bringing more of a chance for some freezing temperatures. And so that's just what we're going to have to continue to watch for just as we go into the last half of November. So if you're a cool weather fan, definitely the last part of November will definitely be good for you. Now, in terms of Thanksgiving Day, will it happen early enough for Thanksgiving Day? I mean, on the 27th, you want to push that all the way over to there. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have like 60s, 70s, so definitely not the warmest, but definitely not the coolest either. And then with only low temperatures going down to like the 50s, it's going to kind of feel like that almost average mark, but just a little bit above average. Just a little bit above average from this time, for that time of year. And that's it for the models. Nothing else really for me to talk about as we go into the long-term future. So, now that that is out of the way, let's go on now and talk about the tropics. So, tropical cyclone activity is not expected during the next 7 days. So, as we continue our way through, all the way through the next 7 days, all the way throughout the next 10 days to be exact, because the ensembles here still are not saying a whole lot of anything. They're not saying a whole lot of anything just at all. If you want to go all the way back, models are still saying that it is still going to be quiet as we go throughout this next 10 days, going all the way into the 28th. Yes, you see some low pressures up there over on the northeastern side, but all of them are going up towards the north and east. And you have like a couple of low pressures here and there, but for the most part, it's still looking like that it's going to be quiet. So that's it for the tropics. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, I believe, I can't see that very top chat. That's like all the way up there. Let me see if I can go in and refresh it. It was Miss Tolliver first, who came in first tonight. It says, good evening. Very pleasant day at my house. Temperatures were very mild with a light breeze. The pond is getting real low. Is there any rain in the future? Well, definitely is some rain in the future, especially if you're in the upstate PD, the Grand Strand, those areas. And speaking of, I can go in and show you right now and see what their model says, which I hope it shows at least some rainfall, which for some reason it does not, which I'm a bit confused about. But, I mean, I'm just looking at the models from the 0Z, and for the most part, it definitely shows some accumulation throughout the state. So I'm not quite sure why they don't think any precipitation is going to fall, but I mean, that was last updated at 8 o'clock p.m., so I guess the full run wasn't out there. Maybe, like I said, tomorrow morning. We'll see for sure what will happen. But for now, they have nothing. So, but the models themselves show like the upstate still PD being the areas, but it's not going to be a lot. I mean, if we do get any rainfall from the system for the future, even just this rainfall right here that I'm talking about over like the next 48 hours, it's not going to produce much, but definitely in the future for sure. Rainfall is definitely coming in the future for sure. My Aunt Lula says, good evening, everyone. I pray that everyone had a blessed day. I did. Thank you so much for asking. Good evening to you. Mr. Chris says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you as well. Please remember to go and hit the like button and the subscribe button if you are new, and also share. He's absolutely correct. We've had, right now, 11 people tune in and only 8 likes. If you are a part of that now, 4 people that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. We are, I have 12 people in here and only 8 likes, so go on and do so. Let's see, Mr. Anthony came in and says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Mr. Chris says, well, very nice here in Monk's Corner. Same thing at my house as well. Very nice over here today. My Aunt Lou says today in Georgetown it was not bad. Sunny but chilly. Sunny but chill. I think that about wraps up what happened over at my house as well. Ms. Oliver says my electric bill arrived and it looked like Berkeley Electric got the right message. Well, it's warming back up a little bit, so you're not going to need the heat on as much. So definitely, unless you want the AC turned back on, we're not back in the 80s yet. So for right now, everyone should be having a break right now as low temperatures tonight, obviously only being in like the 50s and maybe some high 40s. If you go back and look at him, you know, high 40s, low 50s, some even mid to high 50s as well. So not a lot of heat. Not a lot of heat will be needed. Let's see, what else do we have? Mr. Chris, I mean, not Mr. Chris, my cousin Cheryl comes in and says, good evening, weatherman. Good evening, everyone. It's kind of windy in Philadelphia, but all is well. Be blessed, everyone. Love you, weatherman. I'm listening, Cheryl. Thank you so much for that. Love you as well. And there's obviously glad that you are listening with us tonight. And thank you so much for that weather update as well. My name says, Slow J, a fairly nice day. I went into the Florida room and got some sun. That's fantastic. Glad that you got some sunlight today. Trail says, greetings, everyone. Greetings to you. And then Mr. Chris says, any clue when the Q&A will happen? It will be happening over like the next day or so. So that will be coming out. I will at least be recording it in the next day or so. And it should be coming out. Either on Thursday or Friday. One of those 2 days is when it will be. The Q&A will come out. So the questions will all be answered for the ones that the people left. And then Mr. Oliver says, so maybe a cold turkey day. Well, right now, you know, it's still like around more than a week out, so it will change. But for right now, from what the models were saying, what I said at the last part of the long term, was that it's not going to look below average. It's not even going to look average. It's really just going to look like a little bit above average in terms of temperatures for that day. And so 70s, you know, it matters what you call 70s and 50s, because if you have high temperatures in the 70s, low temperatures in the 50s, if you consider that to be cold, well, then yes, technically cold, but if you consider that to be warm, then warm. And that's it for the audience. I don't see anything else here inside the live chat for tonight. Make sure that you go in and vote inside the poll. I said, are you ready for the warmth? Again, so far we have a good amount of votes in there, so go on and vote inside the poll if you have not already. But before we get into the poll and talk about the answers, let's go on and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, 4 locations, what are you talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about those locations is because we have people from those areas who tune in almost nightly. And so because they go on and show their support, we will go on and talk about the location, even though their location is not the main one being talked about. They still show their support either way. And so we're going to start off first with San Antonio, like we always do. Definitely, in my opinion, I think probably the most active location. Definitely the most active out of all of them. And so we're going to start off first Like I said, low temperatures tonight 72, high temperatures tomorrow 86, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 72. Again, there is a slight chance of a drizzle tonight, and then there also is a chance of shower tomorrow and tomorrow night as well. But for the most part, you do actually have a flood risk. You actually had a slight risk, so a scattered flash flood risk, but they downgraded it to just a marginal risk. So now it's only isolated flash flooding, but that is for Thursday going into Friday. So you're gonna have to watch out for excessive rainfall and isolated flash flooding from Thursday going into Friday. And that's the only thing you really have to look out for, is you actually do have flood watches out as well for you. Then Raleigh, North Carolina being the second location with low temperatures tonight at 48, high temperatures tomorrow at 73, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 45. There is a chance of showers tonight, but other than that, that's about it in terms of precipitation. Excessive rainfall, severe weather, not in the equation at all. For Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at 39, high temperatures tomorrow at 48, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 36. Rain is expected tonight. Rain is expected tonight if you are not already receiving it. Chance of rainfall as you go into tomorrow, and no precipitation is expected tomorrow night though. And so just kind of quick how things could change. I don't even think yesterday you had really a chance of rain unless there was a mistake on a part of on mine. But from my understanding, when I went to go change it, it said no chance of rain as you went into tomorrow night. And so that's just how quickly things can change as you go into the next 24 hours. As we continue, though, in terms of excessive rainfall, severe weather, nothing for you, though. Then finally, for Duncan, Oklahoma, you have low temperatures tonight at 53, high temperatures tomorrow at 79, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 61. No precipitation tonight, chance of showers tomorrow. Showers are likely tomorrow night. And speaking of, isolated flash flooding is also possible for Wednesday going into Friday, so make sure you're watching out for isolated flash flooding between that time frame. And that is all that we have for those four. What's going on in terms of the entire U.S.? A slow-moving weather disturbance will continue to bring periodic rain showers, a few isolated thunderstorms, and localized flash flooding across the southwest. The threat will expand into the southern plains Wednesday night. Moderate to heavy snow across the Sierra Nevada and southern Utah ranges will continue into the overnight period. We have flooding about to hit central Texas. We just talked about that. We also do, in fact, have some dense fog advisories out, definitely for some fog that will occur in Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama. Severe weather is ongoing right now inside of northwestern Texas and the Boot Hill, Missouri. And then, for the most part, don't really see anything else right now going on that's really important. Just patchy dense fog, and then I see some. That's about it. Yeah, so just some more potentially dense fog going on in southern Ohio, Indiana, southern Illinois going into, and I believe those are the only locations right there. And that's all I can see here in terms of the entire U.S. Let me go and check out the chat one more time. Thad says, even justified trust all as well. I got some Christmas decorations up today. I'm going to be honest with you. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. I'm just going to be honest. I don't like setting up Christmas decorations until either November the 30th or December the 1st. I can't set mine up before Thanksgiving. I gotta give thanks first. Gotta give thanks first to everybody first before I can go on and set up Christmas stuff. I can't set up Christmas stuff before Thanksgiving. I can tolerate it from other people if they go on and set it up after Thanksgiving, but like I said, well, even if it's like the day after, even the night of, after you're done eating and giving thanks at that point. But me personally, I can't do that. And that's all that I can see inside the chat for tonight. Let me go ahead and check out the poll. I asked, are you ready for the warmth again? 56% says yes, 33% says no, and then 11% says kind of, but not really. So they're, 11% in the middle, 33% says no, 56% says yes. I'm definitely a part of the yes category, so I agree with the majority here for tonight. As warmth definitely is going to be back, but obviously, as we know, cold air will 100% be back as well. And that's all. So make sure that you tune back in tomorrow evening, Wednesday evening forecast update, but also tomorrow morning for our Wednesday morning forecast update. We will be there then. Make sure you want to hit the subscribe button if you are new and you have never hit the subscribe button before. 615 trying to get to 700. It's free. You can change your mind at any time. You just need a YouTube account and hit the subscribe button. Also hit the like button. 17 people tuned in right now and only around 9 likes. So make sure that you go on and hit the like button. That, and then share with all the people that you know, friends, family, somebody you don't like, somebody that you haven't talked to in around 15 years. It doesn't matter. Just send it to somebody so they can go on and support the channel. That is all, though. So everyone have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday evening. I will be back tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning forecast update. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday.